Episode 9 is set to deliver tons of twists and turns, as well as surprises by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that I truly am looking forward to seeing in this movie is, of course, exactly what JJ will do that will change our perception on both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Now, in case you guys didn't know, this movie is said to have a lot of revelations in the film that's going to change our view on both Episodes 7 and 8, which honestly I think is a lot of ambition through J.J. Abrams. I think that does take a lot of work and bravery in order to do so. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a major hint and/or indicator of the revival of Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, what's very intriguing is that it's described that the two halves of the same puppet of Snoke from The Last Jedi will have a part in the film that will require CGI for the sequence added to the puppet. The two halves of the puppet will be hooked up to wirework, and it's described as a practical effects sequence. However, no word of Andy Serkis on set as of yet. So, like I say, we do know that Andy Serkis, J.J. Abrams, and Rian Johnson all know the full backstory to Supreme Leader Snoke, and they even stated once before in the past that the reason as to why that they are keeping it a huge secret is if they ever wanted to tell Snoke's backstory in a future film, either in the sequel trilogy, or in another movie, or in a new trilogy entirely. So, I want to go over the Snoke puppet. And I don't know about you guys, but if you guys look in the background in Episode 8, you will see the actual puppet in action. Well, somewhat. It's just lying there. So that's the Snoke puppet that they used in Episode 8. The two halves of Supreme Leader Snoke after he is cut into two. So I'm starting to wonder here, what does this necessarily mean? Why would the puppet of Snoke return? Well, I think that this most certainly does connect to all of the different concept art and storyboard descriptions that we've been hearing about, lining up with Snoke appearing in the form of a vision and or a dream sequence or even in the form of a flashback scene. But why would it be the version of the puppet with the two halves, as if he is split in half? Now, the fact that they are adding CGI to the character, what does this necessarily mean? CGI to the actual puppet? Are they going to actually have a CGI sequence in which the puppet actually combines into two and actually is one again? Are they going to do something crazy like that? Or does this mean something else entirely? The wire work as well, is that meant to make him move around for the puppeteering work? Or is this something to make him lift it up into the air? We're not quite sure. So everything that's going on with Episode 9, we do know that JJ has a lot of plans in store, and we even heard from the Weekly Planet around 6 months ago that Disney and Lucasfilm were toying around with the idea of bringing Snoke back into the equation here for Episode 9, which honestly I think is a smart move. Not only is Snoke a great way in order to give us the proper redemption that we need, the regular Kylo Ren redemption arc that we would actually love to see, by creating a greater evil where both Kylo Ren and Rey have to team up and go up against that greater evil. To me, that's probably the most realistic thing to do in a Star Wars film in order to create a redemption arc for the character of Kylo Ren. So, like I have always said before in my past videos, I think that Snoke really grew on me as a character because not only is he very mysterious, but we do know that he has seen the rise and the fall of the Galactic Empire. This character has been in the background ever since, most likely Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. He's been around for ages. So, the character of Snoke, the fact that we are also going to be getting that Age of Resistance comic dropping right before Episode 9, that'll give us tons of new revelations and tons of new secrets about the character and more elements about his backstory. Very strange how they're dropping that just 1 month, 4 weeks exactly, by the way, before the release of Episode 9 on December 19th of this year. So, with that being said, the character of Snoke, what could they possibly do with this puppet sequence that'll be mixed with CGI? Now again, like I say, this could be a sequence in which the two halves of the puppet are able to actually combine together, and that's when the CGI comes into play, where Snoke basically is like a snake. I don't know what they're going to really do in this film, but You know, when we look at JJ, we do know that he loves his mystery box, right? He loves his mystery box, and he loves revealing those mystery boxes. Sometimes, a lot of times, though, in his projects, there's a lot of letdown, and there's no payoff with these mysteries. So, for JJ, mixing this with Star Wars, it is quite the risk. I'm not quite sure what he has planned for the film. But let me tell you, when it comes to Supreme Leader Snoke, I honestly think the reason as to why he's one of the best characters in the sequel trilogy is because he has this connection to the past. He has been around, most likely during the prequel trilogy era. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.